Welcome to the Rewriting Naruto series part 24, a series of videos where I rewrite Naruto, making changes to improve the story for my personal taste. This is only part 24 of a very long series, so definitely subscribe to never miss any future rewrite videos. Ring the notification bell so you always know when they come out, and like this video to support the channel. The goal is going to be 1400 likes. If we get to 1400 within the first 24 hours, I'll drop the next rewrite within a week. The Death Squadron of the Mist Village attacks Kakashi, bombarding him with all sorts of jutsus and throwing weapons amid the ruins of the Uzumaki city. Two of the Mist Jounins launch water jets towards Kakashi, which he blocks by using a mud wall. Two other Jounins then come from behind and toss kunais with paper bombs. Kakashi jumps up, dodging as Ameyuri intercepts him midair, lacing her twin swords with lightning. Kakashi ignites a Raikiri and they begin to clash. Twin blades against the Raikiri. Lightning flashes. As they both move so quick, the other Jounins can barely perceive them attacking each other, the Raikiri clashing against the swords and the lightning being expelled from it. The five other Jounins from the Death Squadron position themselves below Kakashi and Ameyuri, launching small water projectiles and kunais towards Kakashi. He knocks the twin blades to the side with his Raikiri and weaves hand signs, deactivating the Raikiri. Wind style, Gale Palm. Using the jutsu he copied from Naruto, Kakashi propels himself mid-air, dodging the incoming attacks and landing in the middle of the ruined building. Four of the other Jounins catch up to him and begin to assault him in taijutsu. Kakashi uses his speed and Sharingan prowess to keep up with all four of them at the same time, trading blows, blocking and dodging. Kakashi moves so quickly he seems to be a blur, throwing dozens of punches and kicks per second. A massive ice spike erupts from the ground right underneath Kakashi, forcing him to jump away. The other Jounin who didn't engage Kakashi in taijutsu appears behind him, weaving hand signs and pointing his right hand towards Kakashi. Sonic Flare! A shockwave of air explodes out of the Mist Jounin's hand, hitting Kakashi, who is sent flying hundreds of paces to the opposite direction. Kakashi manages to land on his feet, but Ameyuri appears from above, weaving hand signs as well. Ice style, Cold Bolts! Dozens of ice spikes manifest midair surrounding her and launch themselves at Kakashi with great speed. Kakashi weaves hand signs, Water style, Water Dragon! A massive water dragon manifests around Kakashi, who uses it as a shield against the ice spikes. Ameyuri thinks, I see, he's not trying to block the spikes with the dragon, he will use the water to change trajectories. The ice spikes impact the water dragon, traveling through the water as the dragon moves, and as it does so, the ice spikes come out of the other side of the water dragon, far away from Kakashi, their paths being diverted. Ameyuri smiles and says, Water dragon, and you use it so perfectly, as expected from the legendary copy ninja. However, she weaves hand signs again as the water dragon dashes towards her midair. Ice style, Chill Touch! Ameyuri touches the massive water dragon with her right hand a split second before it strikes her. As her hand touches the water dragon begins to freeze where she touched it, and the ice soon spreads around the whole dragon, turning into a massive crystalline ice dragon. Kakashi thinks, I better not let her touch me or she could do that to my muscles and blood. Ameyuri weaves hand signs, Ice style, Shattering Shards! The ice spikes that land nearby Kakashi explodes into a million sharp shards of ice. They come at Kakashi from all sides. It's impossible to dodge them all. Kakashi weaves hand signs with insane speed. Fire style, Ember Fog! Fire and ash erupt out of Kakashi's body, exploding outwards and shaking the battlefield with violence. As the ash and fire impact the small ice shards, they melt and do no harm to Kakashi. A cloud of ash then envelops him. Kakashi emerges from it, Raikiri in hand, dashing towards Ameyuri, who's now landed on the ground. She weaves hand signs, Ice style, Ice Dragon! Kakashi's water dragon that she throws over gains life and dashes towards Kakashi. They clash. Raikiri versus Ice Dragon. Kakashi's lightning blade destroys the Ice Dragon as Kakashi cuts through the long, shattering body of ice, sending pieces flying everywhere. He is now going towards Ameyuri. Raikiri still activated. Ameyuri stares at him and ignites her twin blades with lightning again when Kakashi is a couple of paces away from her. Ameyuri sees a Huma Shuriken coming at her. She thinks, damn copy ninja. He used the ash to hide the fact that he tossed his shuriken in a really wide angle and I couldn't see it approaching because of all the ruins around us. Amayuri uses one of her swords to slash at the shuriken, destroying it. However, she then realizes something alarming. There was another shuriken hidden under the first one. Amayuri thinks, "This is the Shadow Shuriken Jutsu! I didn't see it!" She is forced to use her second blade to destroy the Shadow Shuriken, and now her guard is wide open. Her blades are not protecting her, as Kakashi is about to strike her with his Raikiri. Amayuri thinks, "It appears the copy ninja stories were true." Kakashi moves his right arm to strike. Ninja art! Ensnaring wires! Water style! Water wall! The rest of Amayuri's squad catches up to them. One Jounin makes wires come out of the ground, grappling Kakashi's foot, making it difficult for him to move forward, as another Jounin creates a water wall between Kakashi and Amayuri. The Raikiri still pierces through the wall, however, the wall buys Amayuri a split second that she uses to jump back, and the Raikiri doesn't strike her. Kakashi's Raikiri that's sticking through the water wall then leaps forward, turning into a large lightning hound that dashes towards Amayuri. She smiles, twists her wrists, and the twin blades that were coated by blue lightning now become coated with green wind-style chakra. Amayuri thinks, "I wanted to use this as a surprise attack, but I have no choice." She says, "You know, copy ninja, lightning is weak against wind." The lightning hound dashes towards Amayuri, but she swings the wind-coated blades in the air, saying, "Wind Slicer!" The wind chakra leaps from the sword, becoming a thin, flying green blade that cuts through the lightning hound in half, and then cuts the water wall, striking Kakashi, who's only able to move enough to avoid a fatal blow. However, his right arm is chopped right through. Amayuri smiles and says, "I guess I am the legend now." Sakura runs through the cave of crystals. It looks more like a maze because of the countless winding tunnels that she sees. She thinks, "This is the worst possible time for us to get separated. Besides, I swear I saw Kabuto when we were falling, and there was someone else too, wearing a strange mask. I have to regroup with the others as soon as I can." Neji and Kabuto engage in a fearsome taijutsu exchange. Neji using the gentle fist, Kabuto using his chakra scalpels. As they trade blows, unable to hit each other, they move quickly through the crystal tunnels underground. Kabuto says, "I told you I'm not here to fight the leaf. We don't have to do this." Neji says, "You are a bingo book, wanted criminal. Do you really think I'll just let you go, you idiot?" Kabuto growls in frustration. He disengages from the exchange and begins to run away from Neji. Kabuto looks around the cave. It seems like he's looking for something. Neji gives chase and begins to shoot air palms towards Kabuto, who is running away. Kabuto jumps, using the cave walls and roof to dodge the air palms. As the air barrages impact the surface of the cave, the bright crystals explode and shatter. Kabuto stops for a second, looking at the destroyed crystals. He sees chakra emerging out of them and heading towards a particular direction in the cave. Neji catches up to Kabuto, assuming a trigram stance. 8 trigrams, 64 palms. Kabuto reacts by biting his thumb and weaving hand signs. Summoning jutsu! A corpse appears between Neji and Kabuto. Neji hits the corpse with his first palm. However, his hand sinks into the corpse, the rotten flesh enveloping his arm and grappling him in place. Kabuto jumps away and forms a hand seal. The corpse explodes, engulfing Neji in the blast. Amayuri smiles in pride, looking at Kakashi's arm falling on the ground. The real Kakashi emerges from the ground behind Amayuri as the Kakashi shadow clone who got hit by the wind slicer disappears in white smoke. Kakashi has a Raikiri activated once more as he is about to kill Amayuri. One of the other Jounin weaves hand sign saying, "Pinpoint Sonic Strike!" He launches a shockwave that looks more like the air trajectory of a bullet from his hand, straight at Kakashi, who is forced to divert his Raikiri from Amayuri, and instead, Kakashi cuts the thin shockwave in half with his lightning blade. The two shockwaves impact ruined buildings several meters behind Kakashi, and Amayuri uses that chance to regroup with her squadron. Kakashi collapses to one knee and spits blood through his mask. The Death Squadron looks at him in surprise, but Kakashi quickly looks up at them and stands back up. Amayuri thinks, "I suppose this took a toll on him, huh? A lot of chakra spent. Still, he would have killed me twice if I wasn't saved." And he used a 4-layered strategy hiding in that ash cloud. First the clone dashing at me, then throwing a shuriken, then the lightning hound, and then coming from the ground to strike me from behind. Amayuri says to her squadron, we cannot let him separate us, or he'll pick us apart one by one. I get the feeling he let himself get blasted by the first sonic flares. He knew I would come up rushing after him before you guys, and he used that chance to fight me alone. Standing guard. Kakashi thinks, this is bad news. I've spent over half of my chakra with that last sequence of jutsus and they couldn't kill her. I suppose their reputation precedes them. Ameyuri looks at Kakashi and tells him, you're strong, copy ninja, but you will feel the wrath of a ninja swordsman of the mist. I've got quite a bit of experience fighting you lot. Ever hear of Zabuza Momochi? Don't compare me with a second-class ninja. Zabuza couldn't hold a candle to me. Somehow, I find that very unlikely. Kakashi dashes away to the middle of one of the ruins. The Death Squadron loses sight of him. They begin to motion a pursuit, but Ameyuri says, no, he's trying to bait us. We must approach with care. As she says that, a dense fog descends upon them. Ameyuri gets very annoyed and says, hiding in mist technique. He wants to piss us off by using the jutsus of our own village against us. Damn copy ninja. Formation F, everyone! As Amayuri utters that command, the 6 ninjas of the squadron form a circle. They are turned towards the outside of the circle, with the exception of one of the Jounins that turns inward, looking inside of the circle to prevent anyone from appearing there and attacking them from behind. Another Jounin says, why would he use fog and diminish his own Sharingan prowess? Amayuri says, according to our records, the copy ninja has a great sense of smell, and as he took down our sensory type, he's on the edge in the situation. He knows where we are and we don't know where he is. Amayuri turns towards the Jounin that uses shockwave and says, Saito, can you blow the mist away with your jutsu? He nods, weaves hand signs and says, Sonic Flare! A shockwave explodes from his hands. However, the Death Squadron is surprised as the fog didn't move one bit after the shockwave was expelled. Amayuri has a sudden rush of adrenaline as she realizes they are in big trouble, saying, this is not the hiding in mist technique, it's genjutsu! Dispel it right now! In unison, the squadron joins their hands, dispelling the genjutsu. The fog vanishes. However, 2 lightning hounds are dashing towards the circle of ninjas. They are coming from the opposite direction Amayuri is in relation to the circle. The hounds run next to each other, about 5 meters apart. Amayuri quickly imbues her twin blades with wind style and shoots 2 wind slicers, one at each hound, saying, too slow, copy ninja. You're not catching me with that jutsu. As the wind slicers are about to hit, the 2 lightning hounds lose their transformation jutsu and revert back to their Kakashi form, turning back into a Kakashi each. Both Kakashis dodge the wind slicers with elegance. The Kakashis are then upon the Death Squadron. The Kakashi on the left raises his right arm, and the Kakashi on the right raises his left arm. Lightning cable! Their extended hands shoot out lightning towards each other, forming a ribbon of lightning that connects itself between them. Kakashi runs through the Death Squadron, cutting 5 Jounins in half. Amayuri looks in disbelief as the upper torso of 5 of her companions falls to the ground as their legs remain standing. Kakashi is about to slice her with the lightning cable. She then swings her twin blades imbued with wind and cuts through the lightning cable. The lightning retracts back into both Kakashi's hands, but they still have a Raikiri each. They then dash at Amayuri from opposite directions, intending on finishing her off. Amayuri weaves hand signs quickly, saying, Ice Style! Great Glacier Formation! Gargantuan spikes of ice erupt from all sides around her body, immediately destroying both Kakashi's shadow clones. This massive ice structure appears in a split second in the middle of the Uzumaki city. Amayuri stands on top of it, panting, not believing what just happened. She thinks, it took me 3 years to form this squadron. After everything I've been through, this man destroyed it in 5 minutes! He tricked us into believing he was using the hiding in mist jutsu, but it was genjutsu. He knew we would think he was using that jutsu to annoy us, so we wouldn't even think twice about the possibility of it being genjutsu, and I didn't even notice it being put under a genjutsu. How did he manage to do it? Was it subtle genjutsu? But when? She remembers it. When Kakashi dropped to one knee and spat blood, all members of the Death Squadron looked at him, and then Kakashi looked at them them with his Sharingan. Ameyuri is outraged. How could they have fallen for that? She thinks he then transformed 2 shadow clones into lightning hounds and dashed toward us. He knew I would use the wind slicer on them, and after that, for a split second, I wouldn't be able to use it again. He then showed the real appearance of the hounds and dodged the wind slicers, and cut through my squadron while I couldn't do anything. He came from the opposite direction, from the direction where I wouldn't be able to cut that lightning cable in melee and avoid the entire squadron to get hit by it. He dissected our abilities and employed a perfect counter after seeing them only once. Amayuri looks below the ruins, looking for Kakashi. She cannot find him. From a distance, Kakashi looks at the massive glacier that has appeared in the middle of the Uzumaki city. He thinks, I'm glad I used shadow clones for the lightning cable. Getting hit by that thing would have been bad. I was hoping to get them all, but I suppose 5 out of 6 is pretty good. I'm glad they didn't notice that I used the water pigmentation jutsu to pretend I spat blood. I guess using it underground and holding the water in my mouth was the right decision. Though, now I've used most of my chakra and the most dangerous one is still standing. Time for hit and run tactics. Kabuto stares at the smoke caused by the corpse explosion. It spreads around the tunnels of the Cave of Crystals. He then sees a half sphere of chakra in the middle of the smoke, spinning with intensity. Neji used his rotation to tank the explosion blast. Kabuto scowls. Damn Hyugas. Neji dashes towards Kabuto as Kabuto begins to run away once more. However, this time, Kabuto runs towards the direction where the chakra that came out of the shattered crystals was traveling to. Neji keeps on shooting air palms and Kabuto keeps on dodging them. Neji thinks he's following that strange chakra. I had the same idea. Maybe it will take me to the place the energy being Mr. Kajinori told us about is. But I'll have to take care of Kabuto before we get there. Otherwise things will get messy. Naruto creates over 100 shadow clones that stare down the Oni Masked Figure. The single Oni Masked shadow clone regroups with the original and he says, I assure you, Naruto Uzumaki, this shadow clone jutsu will not work against me. The Oni Masked Figure weaves the shadow clone hand sign, creating 2 additional shadow clones. 4 Oni Masked Figures face off against an army of Naruto clones. Naruto smiles and says, That's it? 4? I thought you'd be tougher than that, you weirdo. Hidden amid the ruins, Kakashi finishes a pit trap he armed on the ground of the Uzumaki city. Ameyuri leaves the top of her massive glacier and begins to look for Kakashi amid the ruins. Shurikens fly towards her, being thrown from a hidden spot in the ruins. She uses her twin blades to block them and shoots an ice spike towards that direction. As the ice spike impacts, it reveals the rigged trigger wire that shot the shurikens. Kakashi appears from behind and beheads Ameyuri with a kunai. Amayuri's corpse turns into water as the real Ameyuri appears behind Kakashi, wind lacing her twin blades. Kakashi performs an uncanny dodge, twisting his body as Amayuri slashed at him. Kakashi then throws a smoke bomb at the ground that obscures the entire area. Amayuri quickly rushes out of the smoke and gets ready to battle. But when the smoke disappears, Kakashi is nowhere to be seen. Amayuri thinks, damn it, my water clone didn't work. Though it seems he's low on chakra by the way he engaged with me just now. I don't have much chakra either, but at least I can still keep the elemental transformations on my swords. Bring it on, copy ninja. Neji chases Kabuto, launching air palms and clashing taijutsu blows, quickly moving through the tunnels and following the direction of the chakra. None of them manages to get a clear advantage during their fight. Finally, they arrive at a larger, more open section of the cave. They disengage from each other, and what they see in the middle of that chamber is quite strange. A red-haired woman wearing simple clothes. She has a mad smile on her face and she seems to be in great pain. 6 fancy-looking daggers are stabbed around her entire torso, making her bleed from all over her body. The daggers are imbued with chakra that is so potent it leaks from them. Neji looks at her with his Byakugan. Each of the 6 daggers carries so much chakra that it's almost blinding for him to look at. It is the same chakra that is present around the entire entire Land of Whirlpools, but much more concentrated. It seems the chakra imbued in the daggers both enters the woman's body as well as leaves the daggers to spread around the environment. Neji thinks that's definitely the source of this weird chakra, but the woman, she appears to be the one that was missing. What is this? Kabuto looks at the woman, smiles and says, "You know, I was expecting the mask, but the daggers will do." The red-haired lady says, "You found me! How brave! You dare face Hakusonen? We shall see. Yes, we shall see how powerful you are." Her voice is much louder than it should be. It's so loud that the insides of Neji vibrates as she speaks, and the cave surrounding him shakes. She continues, "How about we have some little fun? I was expecting to stretch out these new muscles." Kakashi, Ameyuri, Sakura, Naruto, and the Oni Masked Figure all hear loud and clear what the red-haired woman just said, even though they are all far away and in different positions. Naruto, surrounded by his army of clones, upon hearing that thinks, "What the hell was this? I don't have time to lose. Sakura and Neji might be in danger." He then looks at the Oni Masked Figure and says, "Enough of this staring contest. I don't have time to waste on you." Naruto and his army of clones dash towards the Oni Masked Figure, who also dashes towards Naruto alongside his 3 clones. Watch part 25 of the rewrite right here. Like this video so we can reach a like goal, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Comment down below what you thought about this episode, and thank you so much for watching.